I find Mahler's music very personal to me. I think it's this human expression, this ability to tap into the deepest parts of our nature, of my nature, of our psyche. His choice of poetry in Mahler's Eighth expressed this immense joy. There's plenty of examples in his poetry of his private belief in the best of mankind, as well as the worst, as well as the vulnerability in all of us. As a performer singing Mahler, I find it very uplifting but also draining. I give every ounce of myself to the bigger pieces like Das Lied von der Erde. I feel utterly drained the next day because I invest every part of my understanding. Because Mahler himself, were he conducting, would expect no less. And that's often how I feel with someone as great as him. Or, you know, I'm looking forward to Lorin Maazel as well, someone who I imagine will expect the absolute best one can give to the piece. And I hope that he likes what I have to offer. My first encounter with Mahler was his earlier Des Knaben Wunderhorn songs that are attributed to this set. And I found the range quite difficult. I found the high notes and the low notes defeated me a little. But what I loved about it was the sort of the images that these songs throw up. The Das irdische Leben, the song of the sickly child, and the mother saying yes dear, when I get the corn, when we thresh the corn, when we make the bread, you can have it. It's a sort of similar to the El König by Schubert, and it's got this drama, this operatic feel to it, which I think a little miniature, and that's very appealing to young singers. Much as I love singing opera, I think symphonic poem is the best of all worlds because, okay, one isn't in character, but one is singing in the character that Mahler asked you to sing in. Mater Gloriosa has to be this sort of ethereal image of eternal feminine, this disembodied voice, and the conductor will always ask the singer to be seamless and almost inhuman, sort of godlike. And it's interesting vocally. I mean, I'm glad I'm not Mater Gloriosa. I don't think I could cope with that pressure. But it's interesting to try and do what the composer wanted, and somebody, in Mahler's case, is extremely specific. I think if Mahler were to conduct me, I would be, like all his singers, pretty frightened and unnerved by his exactitude, by his demands, by his... but I believe that if he liked the singer or the musician, whoever, he was extremely helpful and nurturing. And I'd like to think that he would like me and help me understand his music. But I think he expected singers and musicians to have a very functioning technique, if you like, a technique that you could sing or play anything and then he could mould you. I often think when I'm singing Mahler, what would he expect of me at this point? What would he want? I mean, it's possibly a totally futile question, but to me it inspires me to think, what would he want from me at this moment? What can I give? Just to be on the stage of Mahler's Eighth Symphony is a landmark. I mean, it is the most amazing song symphony, and it was the one he was most proud of. Anyone who's taken part in this piece, when you feel the vibration of the timpani and the organ at the end and the brass coming at you from every angle, I don't think there's anything like it. There's nothing I can compare it to. Interestingly, he said about his Eighth Symphony that all the other symphonies were just a prelude to this, a sort of work in progress, if you like. And here was the big piece, it had everything in it, everything that was him, both intimate and grand, both deeply sad, deeply happy. Well, first of all, I hope that Maestro Maazel likes what I have to bring, because that means a lot to me, that the conductor and I can work collaboratively, and he's a great man, and I'm looking forward to learning from him and to be inspired by what he's bringing, and hopefully I can inspire him in some way. All I ask from anyone is that they're open-minded and that we can discover things together. I think as long as one just follows what Mahler is after with your heart and be open to ideas, that's what I'm hoping, that we can have a happy time.